of the season. As y'all know, Detroit is 1-0. So we finna beat the Seattle Seahawks. They coming to us. So enjoy the game. Call this girl because she tell me she want me to come over there and shit. I'm in school.
Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Detroit Lions taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test his secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the former Bear, this is David Montgomery, and he'll get this to the 32. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Goff. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. When you talk about this Seahawk defense, they're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter,
no, this living with the Hendricks.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Off play action. Here's Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
I don't know where them Falcons at. He's usually been playing with Kansas lately.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his 1st rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's 1st score here this afternoon. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
Like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Patterson back out there to send this one away. Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
When the Seahawks named Smith the starter last season, it gave him an opportunity he wasn't sure he would get again. And then he became one of the best quarterbacks in football and sustained it across a full 17 games when he came back player of the year. Saved his career with last season and keeps the Seahawks as true contenders.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A man who played collegiately over in East Lansing. Here's Ken Walker. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for Walker from last week's effort. He was creeping up toward 200 yards. Thought he was going to get there. Didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. You talk about this Lions defense. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game.
But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now, this defense for the Lions, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Well, they'll fake the jet sweep and go instead with Walker.
Oh, yeah, that's flag right there.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Throwing now is Gino. That is caught. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jet sweep. Here's Smith and Jigba. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. But that's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Boy, 2 long, sustained drives by each team to start things out. It's kind of similar to how the pitch clock has shortened baseball games. That means we'll be out of here quickly if we get a few more drives like that. We're in the 2nd quarter now, and we've only had 1 drive apiece, each of which have ended with touchdowns.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This taken in right around the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I go ahead and punt the football myself.
Here we go on 4th. Goff. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big, big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at my coach. Why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll fake it. Now Smith under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Running left is Walker. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aleem McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
On 1st and 10, Goff. He'll find his rookie tight end, Sam Laporta. Look at the big fella go. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Sam Laporta, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions have taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7.
Hello. I know, right?
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
You didn't tell me about.
Asker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march on the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Smith. Short throw to Disley. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Geno. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Goff now looks to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Samson Ebukam. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. Mac Hollins, a touchdown reception. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Raiders looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Bucs' new quarterback for 2023, Baker Mayfield, with 2 touchdown passes. The Lions got a very strong performance out of their quarterback, Jared Goff. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A 1-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. This is brought in at the 21. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Lions to take over. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And meanwhile, Goff's throw going into the hands of Williams. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second and a couple. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. On first down, Goff. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Metcalf for the first down, still without a doubt, one of the toughest assignments in the NFL with his size and speed. 1,000-yard season for him, and an absolute nightmare for any corner who matches up with him.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He completes this to Walker. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under pressure, and they got to him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. This is taken at the 18. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 55 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now it's Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions are on their way to a 2-0 start. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then...
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Extra point try now for Patterson. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Patterson back out there to send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now Smith. He'll find Metcalf. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw on second down is Smith. And complete to Smith and Jigba. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To the air again, Smith. Short throw to Disley. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Smith. This one goes underneath to Walker. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and 7, operating from the 34. Now it's Smith. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Here's Smith. And Walker has it. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 15. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Oh, it springs free. Montgomery loses it. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On second down, Montgomery. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Lions, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.
We won that game, y'all. Detroit is 2-0. Let's see who we got to play tomorrow. Let's see who we play next, y'all. Tomorrow we got Atlanta Falcons come to us. So that's going to be a good game right there. See y'all later. Peace, love, and loyalty.